The next question is by Vernon_Dagod8206, who says Brock Lesnar was the right man to end the Undertaker streak. It's just the match itself that sucked. Anthony, obviously you're a big Undertaker guy. You've been a big Undertaker guy.
He's the one that got me in the business.
Years. Wow. What's your thoughts on this take?
Okay, Vernon, you're going to probably hate me for this. But no, Brock was never the right guy. To end the Undertaker streak, that's debatable. A lot of people feel that he should have never lost it. That's part of the mystique of the Undertaker character. But I always felt that if he was going to lose it, he needed to make somebody. It needed to make a wrestler. It needed to bring somebody to a different plateau. Brock was already made. Brock was a multi-time WWE champion. He did not need the win. History has shown, I thought it was a mistake at that time. The years have not made it any better. It's not the match itself. Yeah, Taker got injured during it, got concussed. We know that. That didn't change the fact that, it didn't make anybody. Undertaker's streak, if you want to end it, there's only two people that have ever beaten him at Mania, Brock and Roman. If you were going to do it, should have been Taker's last match, should have been Roman. Roman should have been the guy. Because obviously we know Roman became the guy as the face of the company with the bloodline. So I always felt that it should have been somebody making somebody. It would have made Roman at that point. You beat Taker. Would it have been controversial? Would people have been mad? Yeah, they were booing him anyway because he was the chosen one. You could have gotten the bloodline sooner, in theory, if you would have embraced him as the heel. When I've retired the Undertaker, the legend, the conscience of WWE, the arguably one of the greatest legends of all time in this company. That's who you make. Brock, what would Brock get out of that? Really? What did he get? Oh, moniker the Conqueror? Yeah, okay. They really didn't do anything. It hasn't aged well. It didn't elevate Brock to another level. It didn't.
I will say this one thing, right, to play devil's advocate for a second, even though, to be honest, Anthony, I do agree with you. For my generation, after Brock Lesnar had been gone for so long, yes, he'd returned. Yes, he had a couple of big feuds, of course, John Cena and stuff like that. But him ending the streak really made Brock feel like, oh, wow, this guy is now like the top level, which was something I didn't really feel about Brock Lesnar as a kid myself, because I didn't know all the stuff that he did before he returned to the company. So it did, I think, for my generation, establish him as that top guy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I listen, I can't speak from your perspective, but I could say he's multiple-time world champion, former UFC champion. He had all this aura already around him. I don't feel, in my opinion, that it elevated him. But, obviously you feel differently because you're from a different generation. So
yeah. And interestingly, Fernando says the same thing as well. And so does Numero One Superfly as well. But then Roundhead said Bray Wyatt is the only right one. Either that or nobody. That's an interesting take.
Listen, I always felt it was either nobody. I would have been completely fine with that streak remaining intact, and he retired undefeated at Mania. That would, in an ideal world, that's where I always felt it should have been. But if he was going to lose it, I felt that it should have made somebody, and it should have been his last match. Obviously, he didn't lose his last match. Beat AJ and drove off into the sunset, which I thought was a phenomenal visual. Obviously, COVID brought us that. But that, I love the way they handled that, his final match and the driving off. If he would have remained undefeated, it would have made it even better.
We got a couple more comments here. Phantom X1 is saying that he stopped watching wrestling for a while after Brock broke the streak, as that was something which was meant to stay unblemished, and Shard agrees as well, Anthony, that he just should not have ever lost.
It was part of the mystique of the Undertaker character. He was undefeated at Mania. It was unique. It was different. I never felt, oh, it's predictable, he's guaranteeing to win. It was special. It was equivalent to a world title in a lot of instances. I mean, WrestleMania 25, that should have been the main event. They wised up at 26. At the end of the day, the match with Taker at Mania was just as valuable for a talent to be in than, if not more, than a world title match.
Yeah. No, you're completely bang on right about that. One thing I will say is
talk about it and Sean talk about it and stuff like that. Like they value that and not like that spot was amazing to them.
They wanted originally they wanted Kane to do it even before they even realized there was a streak. Kane didn't do it. Edge they offered it to, and he went absolutely not. Under no circumstances am I beating the dead man. Like people recognize that you should not beat the dead man. The streak should have remained unblemished.
I'm going to be honest.
Said no, and his moniker was Mr. WrestleMania.
Arguably, Undertaker is the only other person you could call Mr. WrestleMania because it's
it's one of the two, that is for sure.
Yes.
But I will say this though, to be honest, right? I do think the streak should have ended. And the reason for that is that it is like one of the biggest things in wrestling, but it should have created a star. That is where I will say it should have created somebody new. It should have been a heel to do it because they will get heat for it.
A perfect example, obviously he wasn't around at the time, but either a Jacob Fatu or a Braun Breaker would have been the ideal choice to be the one to end the streak and Taker's career at a Mania, because that would elevate them to an unbelievable level that money can't buy.
Yeah, no, you're bang on right about that. Josie Curry says Brock needs to come back. Nah, I'm honestly, I'm good.
I'm good.
Brock.
I've seen enough of Suplex City. I'm good.
I mean, I agree 1,000% with you, Ant. And I wholeheartedly believe that Undertaker should not have ever lost that streak. I felt like his last match should have been a young guy, as you guys are saying, and that young guy should have gave the Undertaker the fight of his life.
I would have been okay with Roman, in all seriousness. Of the two people that beat him, I would have been okay if it was Roman, especially if it was the last match, because what Roman would become.
Right. I'm just saying you don't break the streak, though.
No.
And then you have Undertaker raise the kid's hand. You have Undertaker give him the rub, and that's the guy who goes on. But you do not beat